Hi, welcome to the Rant. I'm sorry we always have to meet under these circumstances, because on our show Life's a Beach, we talk about things, movies, games, blah blah blah, whatever. The Rant is where we basically bitch. Bitch about movies and things, because we're on the internet. The internet is a communications tool that has given everyone in America a voice, and evidently everyone in America chooses to use that voice to bitch about movies. They're from Jay and Silent Bob Straight Back. Did a Ben Affleck on you there. Was it good, Ben Affleck? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so this is the Rant. And today we're going to talk about Halloween. Halloween 2018, the new Halloween that's coming out October 19th of this year. Are you excited about it? Or?
I'm excited and very curious of what they're going to do with it.
I was excited. I was nervous, but I was excited because it's another Halloween and it had John Carpenter back, which is, my hero, our hero. The reason we wanted to do film in the first place, besides Kevin Smith, it was John Carpenter. Back in the, even in the 90s, we were like, we want to make movies, we want to be like John Carpenter. Because we love Halloween, we love horror. So I was like, okay, we're getting a new Halloween, it's going to be great because John Carpenter's finally back. He was asked to come back for H2O, but was like, no.
Years later, Miramax bought the rights to the Halloween franchise, and they had the idea of, and Jamie actually had the idea of reuniting us again and met with them. Everybody wanted to do it except me. God bless all of you here, but no thanks.
See, he kind of separated himself from the Halloween films. He never wanted to go past part 1. And then he said it took a 6-pack of Budweiser to write part 2, and then by the time part 3 rolled around, he just come up with something different. We all know what happened with part 3. It had nothing to do with the franchise and anything. It was a good movie, though. Halloween 3 was good. Just, could have not been a Halloween movie. Just been Season of the Witch, which I think is a movie that came out a few years ago. But Halloween, even though it's one of my favorite franchises, right next to Friday the 13th, Halloween has always been one of the hardest ones to watch because it never falls into continuity, really.
No.
After the events of part 2, you skip to part 4, and it follows in. Michael's been burned, he's been locked up for like 10 more years. And he, they're transporting him back to Smith's Grove. He escapes, and he continues his killing spree, and then continues on the following year in Halloween 5. Halloween 5 also didn't even use the original house. It was like a big, Gothic type house. It looked nothing like the original house, and you're like, pretty sure they didn't have a garbage chute. But then by Halloween 6, it's, I don't. At this point, Halloween's been banned in Haddonfield, and then you've got people living in the Myers house now, family of the Strodes. And then, Halloween 6 was written by a fan, and then he continued on the story with, at the end of part 5, or in part 5, when you see the Thorn and the Man in Black that turned out to be Dr. Wynn. You didn't really know what that was until part 6, and this guy wrote that he was cursed by Thorn, and you know, he couldn't die until all of his family was killed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Even though I liked the movie in a way, actually, I really liked the producer's cut better than the theatrical cut, because before Donald Pleasance, before he died, the guy that played Dr. Loomis, at the end he found out he was cursed with thorn, and you know, he's screaming at the end or whatever, but since he died, they just changed it and had him just scream so you would make it think he was killed. And then comes H2O, which is just like, you know, screw the other movies. This is a direct sequel to part 1 and 2, where it's Jamie Lee Curtis back. Doesn't even acknowledge that she ever had a daughter with, you know, Jamie Lloyd from the other movies. She acknowledges the fact, they did acknowledge the fact that, you know, in part 4, they said that Jamie Lee Curtis, or Laurie Strode, had died in a car accident. So, Jamie Lloyd was, you know, with his foster family. And then, you know, that's kind of what they went. You think she's dead. Well, in H2O, she comes out and says that she had faked her death. So it was kind of like going off of that a little bit, but she never acknowledged that she had a daughter or anything. Now she's got a son, Josh Hartnett, whatever his name was in the movie. And then meets Michael again, cuts some random guy's head off, a paramedic, and then, you know, by part 8, Resurrection, which, good Lord, that was a horrible movie. After the beginning of it, you know, we think Michael's finally got his revenge on Laurie. I know we stood up in the theater screaming and clapping, "He got that bitch! Yeah!" So I'm like, okay, she could have lived. I mean, she's a Myers, really. So, you know, if Michael can keep living, why couldn't Jamie or Laurie or Jamie or, you know. But Resurrection was just so much of the, not found footage, but live, like, camera angles. They're in the house shooting a reality show, and we all, I mean, let's face it, people, we could have all done without fucking Busta Rhymes acting like a ninja, right?
So you want to be on Dangertainment? Let's see what you got. Wanna fuck with me? Huh? Fucker?
Come on, Busta Rhymes acting like a ninja and beating the hell out of Michael Myers? Come on. Really? But that aside, I always thought there should have been part 9 where they followed up when his eyes opened up at the end of Resurrection, where he kills people and goes right back to, you know, doing his thing. But instead, part 9 was canceled. You know, of course, Mustafa Akkad was killed in a car bombing, which, I mean, he was the godfather of Halloween. And he wanted to do 22 movies because Donald Pleasance, that played Dr. Loomis, said, "I'll stop at 22.
I'm the godfather of the Halloween. I preserve its continuity. I preserve its element. I will keep doing it. And I'll stop at 22. That's what Donald Pleasance said. One of the press were asking him, "Come on, Donald, you're going to keep doing these Halloweens, all this?" He said, no way, I'll stop at 22. So I like to follow his advice.
That would have been awesome. But instead, it's dead from that point on. They hand it over to Rob Zombie.
Shut up.
We're not going to go into that, because if you've watched anything we've ever done, all we ever do is bitch about Rob Zombie's Halloweens. But now we're on to what we thought might be part 9. John Carpenter's back. He wants to bring Michael Myers back into the original killer that he was, even being played by the original killer, Nick Castle, from Halloween 1. In some parts. He's got a stunt double, but And I'm bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis, which I thought, okay, she could still be alive. And then you know, you hire Danny McBride and David Gordon Green to write it, and then Blumhouse Productions behind it. Jason Blum, they did like The Purge, Sinister, I think Truth or Dare. So a lot of the new horror coming out now, which does a good job.
Yeah.
But the way McBride and Green wrote it, instead of following after part 2, it's a direct sequel to the original, part 1 from 1978.
I don't know how I feel about that one. Why?
Yeah.
Why continue from the first one? It's kind of like...
When they told a whole story between 1 and 2, that was a continuation of one night. And now, now we're jumping 40 years after. What was this, like Halloween H40?
Yeah.
H40? I mean, come on. Like, now Jamie's got a daughter again, or Laurie Strode's got a daughter again, but her name's not Jamie Lloyd. Doesn't have a son. It doesn't go anywhere with... They're ripping off Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's just call it what it is. Texas Chainsaw Massacre had 4 movies, and then a few years ago they did Texas Chainsaw. That was a direct sequel to the original 1974, 30 years after. And, I mean, that's the same thing Halloween's doing now. At least it's not in 3D. Yeah. I mean, we're the fans of John Carpenter that we are, I feel like I've lost faith in John Carpenter on this one. Because I thought with him behind it, it would turn out good. When they remade The Fog, it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was great.
It
was great.
It stayed right along with the original.
Same with
because he produced it in The Thing.
Yeah.
And Assault on Precinct 13. But then now, I feel like he's just like there to collect a check. Like he's like, okay, you don't know what to do with Michael. I'll come back in. We'll kill him. Finally. Even though John Carpenter said all those years ago, you cannot kill true evil. True evil cannot die. And he's going to cut him off his... At this point, I'm hoping that it's the final Halloween and Michael Myers is dead. Because all they do is just fuck up the whole mythology and everything you know and love about Michael Myers. He's not even fucking Jamie Lloyd's sister anymore. Not Jamie Lloyd. Jamie Lee Curtis. Shit. Laurie Strode. He's not even Laurie Strode's sister anymore now. They've completely changed it. There's actually a line in this movie, something along the lines of somebody's like talking about Laurie Strode, and they say, "Oh, isn't her brother the one that killed all those people?" And they're like, "Oh no, that's just something someone made up." Really? So you acknowledge that it was a thing, but now you're like, "Oh, that's just something somebody made up."
That's how I feel about the movie.
Yeah, it's good enough for me to poop on. I think instead of going back and doing like 40 years later, why don't you just like take a movie and tie it all in? Like tie in everything from 1 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just, tie it all in. Have like Laurie's son back in it, Maybe Jamie Lloyd's still alive. Maybe he really didn't kill her in part 6 because, it was a horrible death anyway, and it was stupid because, it wasn't Daniel Harris and... Mm-hmm.
So they sent out this breakdown for Jamie, and they wanted someone over 18 to play, 17. and they had my picture, my headshot that they wanted to look alike. So my agent called me and said, they're casting Halloween 6 and they're trying to get someone over 18 to play your character. Obviously, when you're over 18, you can work longer hours, you could do other things, don't have to go to school. I was 17 though. So my agent called up Paul Freeman and Mustafa and said, you know, Danielle wants to do this and what can we do to make it happen? And they said, we need to hire someone over 18, so get her emancipated. So you basically have to go before a court and you have to prove to the judge that you're an adult and you're essentially like, I'm an adult now. And you say, I'm gonna move out of the house from my mom, you know, you're an adult. And then they could work you like an adult. So I did that, hired an attorney. It cost a couple $1,000s to make it, to do it, going back to the court 2 or 3 times to get approved, and done. And they called, and I just remember being on the phone and them being like, we're gonna offer you, you know, whatever scale it was, like just $800 a week or $1,000, 1 week of work for the week. And I was like, oh my God, but I have all of this, I just paid like $3,000 or $4,000 to be able to do the movie, and wait, what? And it just got really fucked up. I tried to make it happen, and then we had one more phone call, and I'll never forget, the woman on the other line said to me, your character is a scale character. You die in the first act. We're not giving you any more money. And I went, I guess I mean nothing to you then. Okay. I just wanted to put the money back in my bank that I spent to do the movie, which you guys are trying to replace me to begin with anyway. And I fought for it because I didn't want to have someone play Jamie. And okay, so I'm done. And that was really what had happened. And I met JC Brandy, who played Jamie years later through mutual friends. And she was just like, the shit that I got for replacing you, people fucking hated me. And I've gone on the record by saying, JC's my friend, I've taught her dance class, like she's my friend. And I don't want anyone to be mean to her because she didn't she didn't kick me to the curb and like stomp on me and replace me. You know, Dan Ferens and I do talk about it every once in a while about, we have this fantasy of going back and redoing Halloween 6 the way we both thought that it should have been done. People automatically assume that I wanted some crazy amount of money. It's not like I'm demanding of anything. When you have been asked to do something and then they insult you by saying, you're a piece of shit, you die in the first act. I don't give a fuck that you were in 2 other Halloween movies. Who cares? And it was like, whoa, oh my God. I was just in such shock. And then you've got your team going, you know what, we're gonna pass, let them come back, and this is ridiculous, and they put you through the ringer, and it's been a big fucking runaround. And I walked away, and they never came back.
You know, that could have been, it killed someone else. She had a stunt double in the film or something, and then she's still alive. Again, she's got that Myers blood. She could have lived. You know, she touched him and became evil at the end of part 4. She could have lived and, you know, have her come back and, or even if you didn't do that, at least like used her name. Like in this new movie with Laurie Strode's daughter, whatever her name is, her name could have been Jamie Lloyd, or, you know, Jamie Lloyd something, like give a different last name, at least. Because supposedly they're not acknowledging that the other movies exist in that universe, but they are paying homage to those other movies. Yeah. Like supposedly there's an ambulance that's got that Haddonfield Memorial Hospital logo on it, which was in part 2, and I can't remember, there were some other things. They're gonna pay homage to the other movies to let you know that they knew about these other movies, but they're just like, other than that, fuck the other movies. This is like a new part 2, and it's gonna be the last one. From what I've seen and read and everything about this new Halloween this year, I don't even want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but I feel like I'm going to actually look at it and be like, okay, Rob Zombie's might have been better.
Oh, no.
As long as you just disregard the white horse. Here we go again.
I don't know if I can go that far.
Well, let's give credit where credit's due. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 was good.
It was good.
It was good. It had a lot of similarities to the original. There was too much young Michael at the beginning and everything. Because I don't want to know what drove him, you know? I want to see him just... He killed his sister, you don't hear from him, he's fucking 21, he's killing people. He escapes from the Warren County Smith Grove Sanitarium. But past that, Halloween 1, Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 was good. Then you get to Halloween 2, and what the fuck was that? But, you know.
I think it was tripping on acid. Something.
So I should have been tripping on acid watching it. I might have stayed awake longer.
Hey, there's Michael. He's a really intimidating killer. Hey, there's a white pony.
And Dr. Loomis is like a mean old man, like all about himself and selling his books and shit. That's not like Donald Pleasance had to been rolling over in his grave for that. And nothing against Malcolm McDowell, something that played Dr. Loomis and Rob Zombie, because he's a great actor. You know, I mean, he was he played Alex in Clockwork Orange. But his portrayal of Dr. Loomis was just not...
It just wasn't Loomis. That's just what it was. It was like a Rick and Morty of Loomis. That's what it was.
He was...
Yeah, he wasn't the right Loomis.
He was Rick and fucking Michael was Morty.
They're not meant to be good films. They're just meant to cash in on a franchise because they know horror fans are so desperate to watch horror movies and love them so much that they will go. I mean, everyone I know will go see a sequel knowing it's a piece of crap.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when I told you about I wanted to write Halloween 9? When Halloween 9 first got scrapped, and I was like, I'm going to write a Halloween 9, try to pitch it to, Trancas or, somebody that's going to, Malakakad. Because the way I started writing it was like I was tying everything in together. Like I was having, Jamie Lee's son and his girlfriend come back in it, and then Jamie's daughter is still alive. Laurie Strode's daughter is back in it, and her son, his girlfriend, Tommy Doyle, and, Lindsay. I was going to bring everybody back and kind of tie it all in together. And, let's not forget, what the fuck was that? And let's not forget, in Halloween 6, Jamie Lloyd had Michael's baby. That they apparently, it should, instead of the curse of Michael Myers, it should have been the cult of Michael Myers, because there was a cult that apparently jacked him off, took his semen, injected it into his niece, and made a baby that was supposed to be the new breed of evil. That, I mean, come on.
I remember everything starting to change. Like, the way that everybody was talking about the new script and things that were, it just wasn't... I remember leaving thinking, oh, these people don't know Halloween. Like, this isn't, I don't get it. This isn't, wait, I'm confused. So I am pregnant with my uncle's baby? Like, I just didn't understand what had shifted. I thought, oh my God, this is not what I wanted to do. I don't want to die like this. And at that point I'm a teenager now, so I'm old enough to know sort of what's cool and what's not cool.
That was just all wrong from the get-go. But at least they brought Tommy Doyle back. But Tommy Doyle, and then the other Strode girl that he got with, and then they've got the baby, the little Myers baby. Whatever happened to that baby? Was he evil? I mean, yeah. I could have tied all that in. I'm not gonna give you all the details of the script I was writing, because somebody's gonna rip me off and make that fucking movie. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be me. And Daniel Harris, I'm calling you to bring back your part. That was the only good thing about Rob Zombie's Halloween, was Daniel Harris was back in. Except Jamie Lloyd, she was Annie.
I feel like, in retrospect, looking back on it now, that if I would have been Jamie in Halloween 6 and I would have died, maybe I wouldn't have come back for the new Halloweens. Because there was a part of people that still wanted to have Jamie back. And I think that that maybe Rob Zombie felt the same way, and that's why I ended up coming back and rebooting it.
Oh. We're gonna go watch it. Let's be honest, we're gonna watch it.
Of course.
But I feel it's gonna be like when me, you, and Josh Marlin went and watched H2O, and by the end of it, when Michael gets his head chopped off, we're like,
Fuck it.
what the fuck was that? What just happened? You can't kill evil. You just, no. And then we're like, nah, he ain't dead. He ain't dead. That was a paramedic. That was a paramedic. He's walking off somewhere in the distance. And then lo and behold, when part 8 come out, that's exactly what we predicted. It was a paramedic. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I can't even really fathom what this new Halloween's going to be. They don't even have a name for it other than just Halloween. The 2018 version. I mean, you can't really, you could call it Halloween 2, but there's already a Halloween 2. You can't call it The Return of Michael Myers, because that was part 4. You can't call it The Revenge of Michael Myers, because that was part 5. I mean, what do you call this? Halloween, the night he come back home? I mean, there's... So, instead of him being, at the end of part 2 when he's burned alive, and then he's, gone. Now, we don't know, unless they put in bridge footage from part 1 to this new one, we don't know what happened to Michael after Loomis shot him 6 times.
All right.
7 times in part 2, but he had a 6-shooter. When he shot him 6 times, he's on the ground, he disappears.
Yeah.
But the way the new one starts, he's been locked back up for 40 years in the Warren County Smith Grove Sanitarium. And once again, he escapes. It took you 40 years to escape. And one of the lines that Jamie Lloyd says in the movie is like, I've prayed, is somewhere along the lines of, I've prayed every night that he would escape so I could kill him. Cause she's apparently been training, now she's like this ninja warrior. Like she's on USA on Ninja versus Ninja, American Ninja Warrior or something. But yeah, she's been wanting him to escape so she could fucking kill him. I don't get it.
I don't know either.
In the original series, Jamie was this repressed young teenager, 17 years old. Michael stalks her, she makes it through part 1 and 2. He's burned alive, she faked her death or something, and then by H2O, she says that she faked her death. She's still scared. She's still scared her brother Michael's gonna come back for her. And then by the end of it, she's finally like, fuck it. She gets an axe. She's like, come on, Michael. She's ready for him. She finally embraces I'm gonna beat this son of a bitch. And by Resurrection starts out, she's in the asylum for killing a random person that wasn't Michael, but she was still waiting for him. But now, this one's going directly to that. She was repressed in one, now she's ready, oh, I hope he gets out. I'm ready for him. It's been 40 years, but I ain't forgot. First of all, Danny McBride is a comedy actor. And for God's sakes, he's doing stupid Mountain Dew commercials with Dale Earnhardt Jr. as a race car driver. And you've got, he wrote the new Halloween? Come on. That's like letting, I don't know. I was trying to think of a good analogy for somebody to write a new Star Wars.
Jim Carrey.
They did drop a teaser trailer that Jamie Lee Curtis announced at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, which is not open to the general public. It's for, the industry. It's, actors, directors, producers, all this stuff. It's like a con for people inside the business. But they dropped a trailer at CinemaCon, and
It's been a long day.
we could get the trailer for it any day now, but I believe we're not gonna get one until after San Diego Comic-Con in July.
Yeah.
So whenever we do see a trailer, I think before we watch it, we set the camera up and we get a reaction.
Yeah.
A trailer reaction. Would you like that? Okay. I heard them say yes. They were chanting like they were at a wrestling event. But yeah, we'll do a reaction to the trailer. We'll watch the trailer and we'll get our reactions to it. Because until we see the trailer, we don't know really how we're going to feel about it. I don't know how we feel about it now.
I like the new mask. He looks kind of old, decrepit. Like he was that sad. I started looking, I'm like, yeah, he does. I mean, what? Why?
The mask is almost like Rob Zombie's Michael Myers mask. It looks like
It's like he's tired. He's tired of killing or something.
yeah, it's literally an old, pale Captain Kirk. Because the Michael mask was a Captain Kirk Halloween. Yeah, if you're a fan of Halloween, you know what I'm talking about. But supposedly he's only got one eye now. Because Laurie stabbed him in the eye with the coat hanger in the closet. So now he's got one eye.
So he's another Jason Voorhees.
He's got the one droopy eye. He's got the one good one. But there's also part of the script, from what I read, is Michael's in the asylum. Someone comes up to him, shows him his old mask, and he's like, did you miss this? Or, something, whatever. And then he escapes, puts the mask back on. So, and if it's the same mask that he had wore in 1978, I get that it could be a little worn out and whatever. I'm not saying that mask looks bad. It doesn't look bad. I don't know. Everything's nostalgia now, especially in movies and television. Everything's nostalgia. There's a new Predator coming out this year. You've got shows like Fuller House and Roseanne and all this back. Now they're talking about bringing back Home Improvement. Everything's nostalgia now.
Yeah?
That was good. But everything's nostalgia now. And movies are starting to go away from remakes to just like reboots and recycling, like just starting over. Like using the first one as canon and forgetting about all the rest of it and starting a whole new thing. Except for this one's like, we're not going to keep going. We're just making a new part 2 and we're going to fucking kill Michael Myers off. And it's going to be the last Halloween ever. And I hope it is, because no one can do it justice. Let me do it. Come on. Let me write and direct a new Halloween. I guarantee you I will fill in all the blanks and make it one of the best Halloweens you've ever seen besides part 1. And that's my pitch. Something like that. It's my pitch.
I believe in you.
I could show you pages, show you what I've written already, but somebody's going to rip me off. But yeah, I guess that's all we can say about Halloween until we see a trailer. We'll do it, like I said, we'll do a reaction shot to the trailer. And of course, once we watch the movie, we'll do either. You good? You need a wipe or?
Okay. that.
Yeah, it's about time to end this one. Because, yeah. But a reaction shot to the trailer, and then either a rant or a Life's a Beach on the review of the movie. God damn, sir. Come on.
Go ahead and skip through all the. This is not going to be in the.
Oh, I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in. This was our rant on Halloween, and we'll see you next time. There, get out of here.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him two lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam, Mr. Sandman.